I think us Chelsea fans are so blown away from that Atletico win. We really need to wake up and realise how big of a game this really is. Yes guys, welcome back to another video with Honourable. Today I'll be giving you my match preview of a very big game for Chelsea FC in the Premier League, as I think second place Man United take against us. Currently a 6-point gap if I'm not wrong. Between us it can go to 3 with this game at Sunday on 4:30. This will be a different game than we've expected, because the games we've seen from Thomas Tuchel so far has been lots of possession from the team, pressing on the front foot, creating. But it's the same problem with the clinicality. In this Man United game, I am not expecting us to be the dominant side we've seen. Even against Atletico, I feel we were quite dominant in possession. And we couldn't create because we couldn't break past them much. But when we did create, we were clinical. In Man United today, I think from when we do have this possession, I do feel we are going to have that more sense of creativity, because I don't want to disrespect Man United at all, but their defence, the one problem is it's just 4 good individuals. Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, you haven't seen much of the defensive side of them. And then Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, they're both good defenders individually, but together, I'm not sure. So I do think something that Thomas Tuchel will have to do is, when we do have the ball, I'd say we have about 46% to 55, something like that, possession. You're going to have to create quite a lot and press Man United, capitalise on the mistakes they will make, because Man United defence, we've seen this season against trash teams like Sheffield, can make mistakes, so they can also be a good defensive side, like against Man City. So, Man United overall have been very inconsistent. On form, I do believe we are currently the better team. However, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to beat them, because United can be a very lethal team, especially their attack. We've seen them put 9 goals past a good Southampton team. When you've got Marcus Rashford, a good one. You've obviously got Cavani injured, but Martial, we've seen good glimpses of him. Mason Greenwood can be very good. Bruno Fernandes has been one of the best players in the Premier League. It's a very good attack, probably one of the most lethal in the Prem after City, in my opinion. And that is something we're going to have to be very careful. So defensively, we're going to have to be really strong. No error for mistakes, and we're going to have to especially watch Bruno Fernandes, who can cause problems in that midfield and coming forward. Defensively, this is what I mean. They've got a very good team, Man United, but defensively, they're not the best. David De Gea can always make some super saves, so this is what I mean. Defensively, we've been very organised and tight on the Tuchel. We'll hope to keep that. We're going to need that more than ever in this Man United game. However, if you're looking at the attack, they're going to have to be creative and clinical, like in that Atletico game. It's going to be easier to break them down, so you need to try to create a lot and you need to be very clinical. If you miss your chances, not necessarily, I said it against Atletico, but that, they will pay us for our chances. But we were actually clinical. That's why we didn't make any mistakes and we got the result. It's going to be the same with Man United, even more. If we miss that chance, it will come back us later, because United are a very clinical side who are not going to mess up their chances. But it depends, I was saying, if you can see in Man United, like against Arsenal, they weren't clinical at all. Southampton, 9 goals. It really depends on what Man United we will get. But let's get straight to my predicted lineup. In goal, I do think will be the Senegalese Edouard Mendy. I made a whole video who I think should be Chelsea's number 1, and I do believe it's Edouard Mendy. People are saying Kepa. Yes, he's been impressive, but Mendy is still Mendy and Kepa is Kepa. Mendy deserves the number 1. He's been keeping clean sheets. That's what you want from a keeper. The 3 at the back, Thiago Silva still out with an injury, which is quite disappointing. However, the 3 at the back against Atletico was one of the best defensive performances I've seen in a long time from Chelsea FC. I do believe that Zouma, despite me really liking him and him being a very good defender, he's got a lot of competition to fight for. And Tuchel is probably going to stick with 3 at the back. That's been working for him ever since the absence of Thiago Silva, of Azpilicueta, Tony Rudiger and Andreas Christensen, who's really turned his Chelsea career around. I think the attack we're going to go to, just listen, because that defence and the attack, when the defence comes back, when Silva comes back, we have the defence. Silva, Rudiger, Aspi, and you got up front Mount, Werner, Giroud, because I think that front 3 has established themselves. And what we saw the problem was on the Lampard is a new lineup every game and the players couldn't gel together. Tuchel is having the same problem because he hasn't overloaded players. Fair enough, he's done it well. He's got the keeper spot sorted, defence and attack sorted. It's the midfield that's the problem. You got Alonso on the left, who's been looking really lively and being really well in this formation. You've got either James or odoi on the right. It's a very tough one. As I said, we're going to have to be sharp defensively, and ideally, I think Reece James is the better fit for that. However, Hudson-Odoi has shown his defensive sparks. He's also can be very threatening in the attack, which is what we'll also need, and he's definitely more of a creative player. So I think we're going to see overall Callum Hudson-Odoi. The midfield, the two centre mids, you've got three pairs that I'd love either one of them. Kovacic, Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, or Jorginho, Kante. Those are three amazing options, and I like every one of them. However, I do think for this game we are going to see, I think we're going to see Jorginho and Kante, because Kovacic, obviously we haven't seen training, but past few matches seem a bit sloppy. Jorginho seemed really well, and Kante is performing well. You've got three outstanding midfielders, but you can't play three in the midfield because then there's no support for the attack. So I do feel that first for this game we are going to have to see Mateo Kovacic out. Now, obviously this is a big risk, but then, Kante and Jorginho in an attacking way aren't as creative as Kovacic. If we are failing to supply balls to the attack, I would bring on Mateo Kovacic, because that's what he's done outstandingly on the Tuchel with that four midfield. And obviously we said the attack. I do think Werner deserves the start. He's been looking really good on the Tuchel. Mason Mount, another really great creative spark who links up very well with the Reece James. And Olivier Giroud doesn't really need to start after that amazing overhead kick. As I said, it's going to be a really game of dominance in different periods for both teams. United will dominate one, Chelsea the other. Overall, I think it will be a very even game. And I think in that case, as much as I said United can be very wobbly at the back, their attack is absolutely lethal, and I think we need to be really sharp at the defence. However, I think they'll nick a goal. I think Bruno Fernandes will, and I think for us, we are going to see a goal from Mason Mount, and it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Anyway, that's it for today. Let me know your predictions down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, to show your support, please leave a like, subscribe, and smash the bell to get notified when I upload a lot of videos. You've been watching On The Ball, and now I'm out.